Stojanovska. She actually went to the US in 2012. She's one of the first generations, and that's why I'm so excited to hear her speech.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for having me here. My name is Jovana, and I want to talk to you about my job because I think I have the coolest job in the world. Every single day, I help high school students apply and get accepted to some of the best universities in America. Part of the reason why I do this is because I also went to university in America and I got my master's degree from there. So in a way, I can relate to high school students who are going through a similar process. The three main things that admission officers look for when they are reviewing a university application at Stanford, Harvard, MIT, etc. Three things. One, academics. You really have to be top-notch when it comes to your grades, but also, I don't know how familiar you are with the application process, you have to take what is called standardized tests. SAT, ACT, I don't know if anyone has heard of them, but yes, you also have to take those and you have to get really good scores. Let's say you're an excellent student at school and you have a very good SAT. That's the first factor and the most important one. But join the club. You're competing with the best of the best from China, from India, from Brazil, from Kazakhstan, from everywhere. The second and the third factor are what's going to make the difference. The second most important factor in US admissions is extracurricular activities. Everything that you do outside of school is important to schools because it shows who you are as a person. So what are some things that you should be doing outside of school? You should show that you're a leader, in a way. Stanford, Harvard, Princeton, Yale, they want to educate the leaders of the world. So take initiative and join projects and come to community clubs like these to show that you're a leader. Second, I think it's important to show that you care about the community. You want to do something that is going to improve the state of the world. Thirdly, it's important to show that you're very, very, very passionate about something. It can be your academic discipline. If you want to be a doctor, better start studying and do something connected to medicine to put on your activities list. That was our second factor. Our third factor, I'm going to call it personality. Who you are as a person is very, very, very important to US universities. How are you going to show your personality to schools? The main way is through the essays that you write. American universities love writing, and so you're going to write your personal statement and your supplementary essays, and this is your direct chance to speak to admission officers. They can literally hear your voice through your essays. So my most ambitious students will spend months and months thinking of what to write in their essays. That's why they get accepted to some of the best universities in the world. Everything I told you so far, everything, you could have learned through a Google search. 3-4 hours and you would have known the same thing. What I want to share with you now are the two things that I have discovered that really separate students who get accepted to top 20 US schools, usually with full scholarships, and everyone else. Number one, I think it's really, really important to be the best at something. It can be an academic discipline. It can be something as simple as dancing or gardening, but be the absolute best person in that. Be the best person in your city, in your country, in your region, in the world, if possible. Because Harvard, Yale, Stanford, MIT, they love winners, and they love people who are number one at something. I don't know what it is for each of you, you will know the answer to that. And the second thing is, be authentic. Everyone here is unique. We're all special and unique snowflakes, but how are we going to show that to universities? I'll give you an example. Last year, I was working with a student who is originally from India, but she was living in Kuwait. She really wanted to be a doctor. She had excellent grades. She took the SAT 3 times and she got a really good score. For her activities, she volunteered at 2 hospitals, she shadowed doctors, she wrote a research paper, she did everything right. Joined the club, she wasn't that special. She was applying to Harvard, Brown, Stanford, all of these really, really good schools. And at the end, she was accepted to Cornell. This is an Ivy League school. It's a really good school. Here is what made her special and how she showed her authenticity. Originally from India, she belongs to the Dalit caste. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with India. They follow a caste system. The Dalit caste is the lowest one. This means throughout her life, she has faced some discrimination. She's a little bit more brown, darker than most people. It really influenced her how she developed throughout her life. She wrote about that in her personal statement. And she's also one of the best folk dancers of this really small Indian group of people in the world. She embraced it, she loved it, she lived it. And she also wrote about that in some of her supplements. And guess what? Cornell is going to get, last year Cornell got about 30,000 applications. 1,800 of them were accepted. To stand out and be one of the 1,800 people who are accepted, it's really hard to be overlooked. But she was, I guarantee you, the only Indian girl who was living in Kuwait who faced a lot of discrimination from being Dalit and who was #1 at Indian folk dancing. Be #1 and be authentic. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, that was wonderful. So now we're going to take a 5-minute break. We have 2 more speakers and one of them is coming at 4 o'clock and he has a wonderful story. It's worth waiting for, I promise. So yeah, 5 minutes break please. I hope that's okay.